have so far to go.
And here we are, race 24, the last race of season 1 of the Pennzoil Cup Series. We have narrowed down our 20-driver field of the chase to just 4 drivers. The 2 car of Jay Barker, the 5 car of Jake Booker, the 43 car of Jay Durrell, and the 68 car of Rick Witt are now your final 4 coming into Daytona here. This track is bringing a lot of unpredictabilities. Will there be a big one that takes out the chasers? Or will there be not? Or will there be engine difficulties for any of these drivers? Jake Booker is ahead by a lot of points, and it's going to be hard for the rest of the 3 to come back. So they're going to have to hope the 5 car has a bad day and they have a good day. But there are so many uncertainties, and all these questions remain unanswered and will be answered by the end of this race. And it will be an amazing race going into the Pennzoil Cup Series, race 24 at Daytona. The Pennzoil pole will go to Webster Zygarde for the last time in this series. Green flag is out as Webster Zygarde leads the field down for the last time in the series. As they rock off of the tri-oval, the 12 car is making his way down the front stretch, but the 31 already is making a dive down to the inside. With a push from his teammate Derek Petrie, the 53 car, they are going to go to the front as Webster Zygarde drops back from the lead just in turn 1. But look who I'm seeing on the inside. That is your chase competitor, Jake Booker, in first right now. And he had a really good qualifying run. In fact, he was, I believe, the fastest qualifier out there on the track, if I'm not mistaken. That might actually, no, yeah, he is. The 5 car of Jake Booker really brought his A game in qualifying and is currently making his way not only underneath the 53 car, but he's also sticking his nose underneath the 31. Going for the lead, your points leader, Jake Booker, with help from AJ Davidson as they go through the tri-oval for lap 2. And Webster Zygarde, your pole sitters can continue to slip back. Derek Petrie in the middle, and Jake Booker is going to get shoved up the middle by the 52 car as well. AJ Davidson also wants to lead this race. Now remember, this isn't all about the chasers. There are still drivers that want to say, hey, I won the last race in Season 1, and there's 30 drivers who are eligible to win this. This is the wild card race. Super Speedways, anyone has a chance, and AJ Davidson up there in the 52 car, not one of the highest running cars every weekend. This is his chance to get his first win in the series. But I'm kind of skeptical about this situation here. I'm seeing 4 wide with Jake Booker, your points leader, and Daniel Voiles in the 99. They are 4 wide going through the tri-oval here. This is not good. Oh, the 31 got loose up on top of the track. The 31's in the wall. The 12 caution, and they're wrecking down the front stretch. Caution is out. The 77, I saw spinning Cody Russell. The 64 of Eric Willis. And it looks like Jake Booker will make it through, but what chasers didn't? And Webster Zygarde, also your points leader, will make it through, but a very limited amount of cars up front. And now this is the big one already, and they are just getting way too racy early on today. I can't say that I'm surprised. 4 wide is not the best idea to do here at Daytona. Here we're going to see a replay as Cody Russell. Looks like the 64 just gets pushed up into the 77. Aaron Lukes, I see Max Newworth, the 54 of Sam Rogers. And, ooh, that was a hard hit. I don't know who that was that came back up on the track. I didn't get to see, but I also saw both Rascal Racing cars, the 30 and the 53 car, are in it. There's Addison Steinbach. He's also in it. Looks like Michael Jones might have gotten a piece, too. So definitely a huge wreck. Probably over a third of the field is involved. Gonna get another look. Here's one of your points racers. This is Rick Witt in the VP Dodge. You see them wrecking in front of him. Let's see if he gets... Oh, he's gonna get tagged by the 53 car, and he's spinning! The 68 car is in this wreck, and he's got a lot of damage on that Dodge. And already one of the 4 chasers is having problems here early today. Only on lap 3. And we're gonna go right on board Jay Durrell. This is another points runner here. Ooh, and he's just gonna squeeze by right in between the wall and Brett Brown. But oh my gosh, that was an incredible hit. That was Ryan Kendall and Eric Willis, 2 rookies to the sport, and they took an incredible hit. Wow. we're gonna look on board the 2 car. He's gonna get involved as well. That's some major front end damage. He got into the back of his teammate Zach Carr's. Gonna get into him again there, but Jay Barker's hood is completely torn up, and I don't believe he'll be able to continue. As of now, only 2 drivers on the chase are left. This is crazy. It's only lap 3, and we've already eliminated half of the chase competition. But this is the 64 out, and now, yeah, that was a huge hit. It almost looked like the throttle stuck for the 64, and he just couldn't get it to slow down, and the 56 was only an innocent bystander and all that. And I do hope both of those cars are okay. But here's a good piece of drive. We're gonna go on board Conrad Cooper now. Also look at the 54, that white and red car. He does get a little damage, but he does a miraculous job of getting through this, as well as the the 95 car. As you see, Rogers will make it through, and so will Cooper. Great job by both of those cars to make it through that wreck. Green flag is out as Gary Weaver will be our leader, coming down at lap 5 out of 50. And already, a lot of your field is taken out of the race. But 13 car will lead him down in turn 1. Not as active field anymore. You saw that 68 car actually on the inside. He is your only car lap down, as he had a lot of damage and he had to repair it on pit road. And even went a lap down doing so. Just trying to salvage something out of this day. Maybe even to get to 2nd place if Jay Darrell has a problem later in the going. But I don't think he'll be winning any championships this season. Back up front, you see Jacob 2 trying to make a shot underneath the 13 car. That Toyota looks very strong though right now. He hasn't actually had a win though this season, so definitely gonna go for one here today. But what everyone is looking at is the 5 car. Has he gotten enough of a gap? There is 8 cars out of the race, including the 2 car of Jay Barker. So one of your chases has retired. But is there now any room for anyone else to take the championship home? Even Jay Darrell, who's still remaining in the hunt right now, but is there really any chance for him? Jake Booker had a really huge lead to start with and to finish outside the top 20 to even have anyone else win it. But you see, we're looking at Jay Darrell. This is the only other guy I think has a chance. The 68 car is pretty much done as well. But I believe it's gonna pretty much come down to if this 43 car wins this race and the 5 car drops down below the top 20 somehow. And I feel like that is pretty much Jake Booker's race to win here right now. He just got all the luck, huge wreck on lap 3, and he's pretty much good right now. I'm gonna focus on a couple of our cars not on the chase grid right now. We've seen Sam Rogers. This is his 2nd race in the series. His first was at Watkins Glen, where he didn't have a good run at all, but Sam Rogers is supporting Spurn Strong on the hood of his car, trying to give him some good luck in the series, in this final race, but it hasn't really worked out that much. I mean, he did get a pretty good wreck of wins, but he had a bit of hood damage as people brake checked before he even got to the part where he can avoid the wreck. So tough luck for the 54 car, he's just going to fall back. Looking at Daniel Boyles, he got his first win it's North Carolina, I believe, in race 21, I know that. But that 99 car is also trying to look strong here. His teammate pretty much taken out of a chance to win the title, but he's just looking for his 2nd one right now. The 99 car has had some imminent success in his future, but mostly he's just looking for a good ride here today at Daytona. Red Viper Racing has confirmed to have all 3 cars in the team right now back in the season next year, so that's going to be cool to see, as we have our first full team confirmed back for next year. So expect to see Daniel Boyles, Rick Whitten, Nick Purcell's driving for Red Viper Racing next season in those Dodges. Hope to see them have a better season, at least for Daniel Boyles. Maybe he can get into the chase, but I'm sure it'll be even better next year. And we're gonna look at the sad story for Rick Whitt, just trying to hang on, trying to get as many points as he can, maybe even pick up Jay Darrell's spot, but so far it's just looking Dempsey for the 68 car. That may be Dodge is just kind of struggling along with also the 47 car also with damage in front of him. But I mean, I don't know what to say. It was just stupid of them to go 4 wide on lap 3. I mean, I don't know what they were doing. Jake Booker's lucky to have gotten through it. I mean, he was right there when the 4 wide happened. And another guy who was lucky to get through with Britt Brown also had that amazing wreck of points with Jay Darrell, as both of them squeaked by Derek Petrie's car as he came back up on the track. But as you see, that's a slow car. That's Max Newworth. I believe he's dropped a cylinder or 2. Definitely looks like 2 at least, but Not sure the problem on the 66 car, but he's definitely the slowest car out there on the track right now. So also his first points race back too, so tough luck for his first start in Tanker Motorsports. But back up front with Brett Brown, that 48 car has not had success. He's actually been like the least productive of all of his Old Space Motorsports teammates. He has missed a lot of the races actually as of recently, and just looking for some forgiveness here. That 48 car would love to go out with a win, maybe accept him back into the Old Space Racing next year if they do come back. Looking at board Max Newworth here, as he's gonna clear the rest of the field by holding them up. Jake Booker and Jay Durrell were actually held up by him as they go by to try to catch back up with the leaders again. But Max Newworth just trying to finish it off the last 47 laps of his race here, and the last 47 laps of the season too. Back up front again, we got another battle for the lead here. 3 wide up front, as Gary Weaver is going to push by with his teammate Ryan Dunn. Remember, Ryan Dunn was actually our first person ever win on a super speedway. If you don't count the Bud Shootout, at least that was Jack Newman who took home the win. In fact, he actually finished dead last, the 32 car, because of an engine failure, which pretty much took him out of a chance to win it. The 32 car came back the next week and came back and won it, which kind of led to his first place the entire season before the chase started. Obviously, we know what happened from there. In the back again, this is Nick Purcell's. I don't know what happened with his car, but he's also really slow, and Michael Jones has some damage on the hood. Both these cars are just trying to hold on as well. The Dodges aren't seeming to have the best of luck, but they still have Jay Durrell up there running for the win, as well as Daniel Boyle. But the Dodges got hit hard on that wreck, and looking just to finish off the year, not what a lot of these people wanted for the last race of the season. But I mean, it's what do you expect? The big one was imminent. It just happened to happen early. Jack Newman will be able to pull away with the help from the lad car of Rick Witt as he goes a lap down. The 7 car then is going to be under attack by Gary Weaver as he goes back for the lead. Definitely an aggressive car early on, that 13 car, as he's been pretty much swapping the lead all race long so far. And the 7 car, obviously we spoke of him winning the Bud Shootout, so he definitely has some super speedway experience under the hood. But we're going to have some problems on a Chevy friend of his. This is Conrad Cooper, the guy who had a really good wreck avoidance, but his engine is going to die. And I don't know what happened with that car, but the 98.5 car is just going to come to a slow stop in the grass entering turn 1. No caution will be waived if the tow trucks get him off the track pretty quickly, but it's tough luck to see Conrad Cooper happen to him, and now he's going to have to sit on his pit box and root for Jake Booker to win the championship for his team. As Michael Jones is going to be the next car the leaders encounter for lap traffic, as well as Nick Purcell's. See Brian Boone, his teammate, up in this pack as the leaders just try to navigate through these lap cars with no success here, as Brian Boone is going to get held up by Nick Purcell's now. AJ Davidson trying to push him by, as the lap cars you can just tell are going to be a nuisance here today. Jake Booker, though, is back up front, but guess who's coming on by on the inside? Gary Weaver back to the front again, as he's just relentless in giving up the lead right now. That 13 car, his motivational game plan right now, stay out front and get the lead, and stay out front, excuse me. But I mean, it's a good strategy, but he's being a little aggressive right now. Might use all this stuff up before the race finishes later this afternoon. Even more lap cars, except this is a returning one. Rick Witt is back to the front of the field again. Just shows how slow that car is after being involved in that wreck. Max Newworth, I believe, has already gone by 2 more times. So definitely lap cars are definitely cycling through the field pretty often now, as the 68 car is just gonna have to try to make his way through the rest of the race. No hope in getting a free pass anymore, I don't think. But currently, I don't know what to say. The 68 car is a tough race for the last race of the season. I know he was really expecting a lot more than this going into this race. Webster Zygarde, Kyle Singer, and Jacob Tood will lead pit stops now, as this is suspected to be the only one, as they did have a new fuel strategy system implemented in this race, as they only need to do 1 pit stop, which is pretty cool, I think. Just a nice intuitive design for the last race of the season to limit pit stops also. But We're going to have some strategy, though. The 43 car and the 31 are going to test the limits of that fuel tank. And they're going to come out 1 and 2 laps later than the rest of the field, respectively. And look how good that works. The 31 and the 43 car, look how far they are from the front of the field. That's crazy. The 31 spent 2 laps more out front of the field. I guess pit road is just slow, maybe with the... Maybe the traffic slowed them down. I don't know, but I don't see how the 31 and the 43 got out that quick. It's not to say that the draft is going to come to play, though, as they get swallowed by the field pretty easily, as Daniel Boyles will take over the lead. Jacob 2 trying to make a run on the inside of Jay Durrell, the 43 car. Jay still managing to hold strong up there in the front, just trying to get takeaway points from the 5 car at least. Not letting him extend it for over a race win. That would be pretty humiliating for everyone, I believe, in this field. But definitely it shows how dominating Jake Booker has been this season. We're looking at AJ Davidson in the Pennzoil Ford. He has fallen off of the field due to pit strategy. He's also picked up 2 friends, Kyle Collins and Caleb Hoffman, who also had bad pit stops. I believe AJ Davidson the car dropped a jack, and that's the problem behind the 52 car, but no word on what it was between the 83 and the 04. I believe it was just slow pit stops. But there was pretty serious problems on the 70 cars. When they went to take off the tire, a lug nut was not completely screwed off, and they busted a part of the lug nut off, and they had to manually remove it. So the 70 car had definite troubles on pit road. In fact, that's going to drop them 3 laps down, and we're still not sure if the wheel is on tight or not. So the 70 car just problems after having an alright day, making it through the big one early on. But he's still pretty much on track with the leaders. You see him maintaining pace. We're looking at the 42 cars. He's going to get held up by the 70's teammate, Michael Jones, as he comes through for another blockage on the track. 47 car just trying to end his day, basically, but just trying to get in as much track time as he can for his final race of the season. Jake Burke will remain out front, but if you notice in front of him, that is actually the Kyle Collins machine. After they got him towed back into the pits, they managed to figure out it was just like a loose, it was a spring or something on the engine, and they managed to actually get in and replace it. So the 95 car is back on track, but I don't know why he's going so slow. They might have not fixed it all the way, or maybe it was just the draft coming into play, because the 95 looks like he's speeding up a bit. But a car that's definitely not speeding up at all, that's Max Newworth in the 66, as he goes back for, I believe, his 5th lap now and down a lap. So he's spent many times at the front of the field, just not in the way he'd like it, though. But Jake Booker, though, as we're nearing the end of the race, he's right where he needs to be, right up front. But if he didn't look back, he might miss Jay Durrell in the 43 car. He's trying to give him a push to the front of the lead, in the front of the pack. I mean, the 13 car, what a surprise, he's currently in the lead with help from Jacob 2 with the 42 car. Pretty much the same group of cars up front all race long. The 13, 42, and the 5 cars have been dominating up front, but the 43 car is a relatively new camper up there. He's spent a lot of the time actually after the big one towards the back of the field, but managed to climb his way up through the front of the field. Final lap is waving in the air as Jay Durrell in the 43 car is going to have a push at the 42 car, as he's going to try not to get past the 5. Now the 43 has some help from the 7, and here we go for the final time at a turn number 2. They're actually going to income some lap traffic. The 16 car of Nick Purcell's is going to be the person, and I believe the 42 car, he tried to get out of the way, but he instead got out in the way of the 16 car, so now the 43 car is on his way by. And the 5 car is going to get held up a little bit. Jay Durrell out of turn 4, in your lead. Checkered flag is waving, and I believe Jay Durrell has it. The 7 car stepping out. And here we go, it's going to be a drag race. Checkered flag, and that is close. I cannot tell who won that. And what a finish for the last race of the season. The 7 and the 43 car are going to have a drag race to the end, and we still don't know who won it. It kind of looked like the 7 definitely had a really fast car. He might have been able to pick it up. No, official word. The 43 car has won the race. Jay Durrell is your winner at Daytona in the final race of the season, coming 2 races after he wins his first at Watkins Glen. And here is your margin of victory right there. Jay Durrell, you see, just noses out the 7 car. And for your closest finish of the season, where else to have it than the last race of the season, as great finish, and Jay Durrell will be your driver doing burnouts, but that's not necessarily for the chase results though. Will he be doing burnouts twice? Well, your points winner, Jake Booker in the 5 car, is your Pennzoil Cup Series Season 1 champion. And what a run it was for the 5 cars. He was just too dominant and had too much of a points lead over the 43 car to have to lose the chase lead here all in the last race. And doing burnouts, Jake Booker deserves it. Great race, great shot. Alonzo Gobot Racing is probably proud of the 5 car. As Alonzo Gobot Racing, Jake Booker will take home the first ever Pennzoil Cup Series title, and gonna have a huge confidence boost going into Season 2 next year. Jay Durrell topped the leaderboard in first place. Jack Newman so close to his second restrictor place racing race in second. Webster Zygarde third, Brett Brown fourth, Kyle Singer fifth, and you see Jake Booker wasn't that far behind. He'll finish sixth. Jacob Tube seventh, Daniel Voiles eighth, and Gary Weaver ninth. That's all because they got held up by Nick Purcell's, but see what happens to Gary Weaver after leading most of the race. And Michael Kraft, silent top 10 for him. Ryan Dunn, Kyle Collins, who we thought was going to be the final two, at least starting the chase, in 11th and 12th, did not turn out that way. Caleb Hoffman, AJ Davis, and Sam Rogers also finish outside the lead pack. Only 12 cars are actually in that lead pack, so the big one really took a hit on the field. Brian Lenning, Nick Purcell's, Michael Jones, Max Newirth, and Rick Witt all had problems of their own this race, and most of them were just roadblocks for the leaders. 21st through 30th here, all of them had significant problems whether they came back on the track or not, but Conrad Cooper and Brian Boone finished multiple laps down. I believe Brian Boone actually finished 10 laps down if I'm not mistaken, and Conrad Cooper was like 9, so tough luck for both of them days. And then the final 8 all were wrecked out in the race, in the first wreck on lap 3, and the only one too. You notice the 2-car Jay Barker out of the race in 23rd. Here is your final point standings though. You see first place Jake Booker will win by 13 points over Jay Durrell, and 33 over Rick Witt. Dominating, that's over a race amount of points for Jake Booker over Rick Witt, but Jay Durrell, it was 13 positions in any of those 8 races between Jake Booker and Jay Durrell that solved the finish and had Jake Booker come home your series title here today. Congratulations for Jake Booker, and there's the final 11th through 20th if you missed it. The Pennzoil Cup Series will see you next season for Season 2. Thank you all so much for watching. There are your songs. I'll see you next season. Bye-bye.